On the Retro Show today,
I need a Commodore.
Naked Retro Gaming Evening.
My name is
Leofractic.
I am Kid.
Guess what this is going to be.
No.
I think he's asleep, showering with the Doot and Dootin' guy. And the Mendlick picture.
Mine.
Yay, me!
No, you're not a Clementine. This is episode 17.
What a muppet.
Oh, hello, Chip.
Hello, Chip Dippers. Welcome to
The Retro Show.
You say Muppet in America?
We do, but only when you're referring to the Muppets.
Hey, this is Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here.
Yes, if you give me a kiss, I might turn into a prince.
Oh, Kermit. No.
Well, I guess I'm stuck like this. And now, old news! I can turn into a prince now. Oh, not that kind of prince. I kind of feel like the 9-bit guy sounds like Kermit sometimes.
Does he know that? Can you do an impression of him?
Yes.
That's ridiculous, Leofractic. I don't sound like Kermit at all.
I thought he was doing a Yoda impression.
It's kind of Kermit and Yoda's love child.
I mean, Frank Oz. Jim Henson did Kermit, but Frank Oz was his right-hand man.
Literally.
Literally, yeah.
Well, thank you to the 9-bit guy for joining in with our improv pun there.
You just left him in a precarious position.
I think he's asleep. Or he's frozen. This was live. FaceTime. Okay. But in real old news,
Wow.
the Commodore 64 has turned 40 years old. Not 64 years old.
Not yet.
That was a Paul McCartney song, wasn't it? When I'm 64. Anyway, now nobody actually knows the exact date that it went on sale in August 1982.
I thought you were going to say, no one knows the exact day when it went on sale on August 16th, 1972.
No one knows the exact time. But yes, we've seen some pretty nice creations here. These are actually for people's birthdays, but
Those are very cool.
yeah. And although we don't know the date, it went on to sell around 20 million units worldwide,
Oh, wow.
as we often say here.
I want a Commodore. Commodore 64. I need a Commodore. Commodore 64.
And to celebrate, among other things, Stefan Vogt, who did, of course, the hibernated adventure game, and is now one of the writers on Zap 64, along with me. With me, why aren't you a writer?
Because I'm a wronger.
That makes sense. But anyway, he's re-released The Curse of Ravenstein. It gets the 40th anniversary point-and-click edition. This was another classic adventure game. We're going to be reviewing that, by the way, in Zap 64. And also in Zap 64, in the annual that's coming up, look out for the Kickstarter, I write a little bit about what Commodore 64 means to me.
So a little bit or a little bit?
Unfortunately, I only had space for a little bit because we got about 30 people writing about that. But where's she going?
Frog butt.
She's done a Kermit butt,
Sploot.
as you can see. Yeah, I mean, I always talk about what the Commodore 64 means to me. What does it mean to you?
It means a computer that's taken up a lot of space in my home.
I've only got 17 of them.
Exactly.
What do you feel about the machine, though, in all honesty?
I think it's a very special machine that was out at just the right time to help build confidence in the imaginations of little boys and girls all over the world. And it was one of the first of its kind to grow to that magnitude.
Yeah, I feel quite lucky to have been 9 years old when it came out, and probably 11 when I first got mine, because we were really on the cusp of computing. You know, we'd had the Apple IIe and the Commodore PET. So I think we should sing happy birthday to the Commodore 64. Hey, sing happy birthday. I have to do an American accent.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Commodore 64.
Happy birthday to you. She's so fast.
It was the party popper I was with. The party horn, I should say. Thank you for recreating that. Now, in other news, Lego and Nintendo have announced a €270 or $270 if you convert it. Wait, it's the same.
It's cheaper in American.
Everyone's moving to America because the Mighty Bowser is being released slightly cheaper here. It's another collaboration with Nintendo and Lego. It's planned for release on October the 1st and is made up of 2,807 Lego pieces.
That's doable.
Yeah. It also includes controllable movements and the ability to launch a fireball. We don't know how that works. I would hope it's like a big yellow Lego ball, orange ball, that when it lands, when you throw it, or it launches it and it lands, it explodes everywhere. And Lego fire.
I think it's just going to come out of his mouth.
I thought you were going to say something else then. Moving swiftly on. Also, speaking of Atari, they've announced the Atari Flashback 11. It's been several years since the Flashback. The previous one, do you know what the previous one was numbered? You don't have to think about it.
10?
Yes. It's
Okay, I was like...
not a trick question. We don't know much about it, but it looks like it's got Pitfall and Space Invaders, finally, and Breakout. Now, as we all know, Jack Black did the commercial as a kid for Pitfall.
Just last night, I was lost in the jungle with Pitfall Harry, surrounded by giant scorpions and man-eating crocodiles.
And you met him recently and talked about it, didn't you?
I did. I bumped into him somewhere
As you do.
confidential, and I had mentioned that we had just released an episode where we featured Pitfall, and he said, "Hey, that was my first job." And I said, "I know, we featured you in the video."
Yeah.
And then he asked what the channel name was, and I told him what it was, and he said, "Cool, I'll check it out."
But the problem is you said the 9-bit guy by mistake.
Oh.
That's ridiculous, Perfectic.
No, that is very cool. So Jack Black knows about retro recipes.
And if he's watching, hi Jack, good to see you again.
Hi Jack, good to see you for the first time. We should mention this is available pre-order now, $150, due in September.
150 euros? Actually, I don't know, I'm just kidding.
Probably. You can actually modify these to play original cartridges. There's a hack out there.
That's cool.
It's on my admittedly very, very long to-do list. It's about 3 years ahead, not even exaggerating.
So we'll see you in 2025.
When I do it with the Flashback 13. And while we were putting together the finishing touches for this show, as some of you may know, we got the very, very sad news that Oliver Frey, the legendary artist of Zap64, Crash and so many more things, had passed away after a thankfully relatively short battle with cancer. I've tried to record this a few times without going wobbly, and it's not happening, so I'm just going to go with it. But that man literally shaped the visual landscape of my teenage years through those magazines that we waited for to come through our letterboxes every month. And the same goes for many of you watching this, mostly in the UK, but also in Italy, Australia, and other places that Zap and Crash and Amtix made their mark. His art will never be replaced, and how wonderful that it lives on forever, not just in our memories, but in the covers of new versions of Zap and Crash and in all those lovely old copies that we treasure. Here at Retro Recipes, our thoughts are firmly with his partner, Roger Keane, who you'll also know was the founding editor of Zap64. Over the last few years, since I made my Zap64 documentary and became involved with the new Zap myself, I had the absolute honor of working with Ollie and getting to know him just a little bit, but still an unbelievable thing as a teenage fan of his work. He even did some of his famous Rockford so-called Ollie bugs for that documentary, and I can't even believe that he gave his blessing for me to continue drawing little Rockfords occasionally for the magazine as well. So this one hits really hard. I think the only way to put it is that there's an Oliver Frey shaped hole in not just the art world, but in the world. So rest in peace, Sir Oliver of Frey, and thank you. And let's all spare a thought for Rockford as well at this time. And from his groundbreaking scantily clad art to this, if you find clothing just a bit annoying, head to Cambridge, UK on September 9th for a naked retro gaming evening with British Naturism and the Centre for Computing History. I'll put the link in the description if you want to use it. Just be careful which joystick you reach for. And a prize for the most redundant link under an article, their clothing size chart. And that's it for this month's old news. Sorry. First up, in honour of last month's Dootin' Guide clip, where I said, guess who's back? And you said,
Guess who's back? Back again.
meaning,
Shady's back.
well, this time just for
Tell
you.
a friend.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Sure, he's so mad at school. Give up, daddies, he know. He won't have it, he knows. He's so mad at these ropes. He's so mad at his moves. It's helping the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
Oh boy. It really suits it.
Hi, my name is Fox. My name is
Okay.
I hope that's what you were looking for.
I never thought I was ever looking for that. For a minute, I thought my eardrum was going to pop.
The
But,
wonders of auto-tune. It's very catchy though. Let's play it again now. You can rewind it if
I
you
don't
want.
have enough caffeine in my system to get everything he says.
Next up.
Oh, don't do that.
It's not retro in the slightest, but I just wanted to see your reaction to the jump scare.
I just knew that it's like
Even when you
anything
know
that's
it's coming.
under pressure, and then don't do that.
Now, who did you say was Jim Henson's right-hand man?
Frank Oz?
Oh, yeah. The Muppet version of Alien. And you won't recognize some of these, but that is Zippy from Rainbow, which is a children's show that everyone loved back in the day. That is Sooty from Sooty and Sweep. That's Sooty and Sweep, actually. That's what's Ed the Duck? Is that his name? These are children's BBC things.
Yeah.
And that's Gordon the Gopher. You know Philip Schofield?
Oh, he's the blonde one, right?
It's grey hair.
Gray, well, yeah.
Very grey, with the blonde girl.
Very
Hollywood.
silly. They laugh a lot.
So he got his start on the BBC doing the Broom Cupboard, which was a little intersection between children's TV shows where he was just in the Broom Cupboard with Gordon the Gopher presenting.
Look, have you met Gordon? You have seen Gordon. You were watching this morning, weren't you? This is Gordon Gopher. Yes, the new addition to children's BBC. Yes, okay. And he has turned out to be something of a troublemaker.
Next up.
He's like,
So perfect.
okay, that one's much better. I'm not gonna lie.
Much better. But yes, thank you for wearing the correct t-shirt, even though you didn't know
I did not.
that was
know.
coming up. Next up.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but someone is about to give birth to George Jetson.
Now, this was a few weeks ago because he was born on 31st of July. So if anyone did have a baby on 31st of July
Named George.
named George, please let us know. Now, finally, we were talking about the Dootin' guy.
Yes.
And of course, I released the digitally remastered version. Well, when we first showed that, a viewer called X-Ray Specs found out for us that his real name was Keith Borman. But I wanted to find out some more, so I did a bit of digging. This is kind of interesting. I found 2 songs from the 80s with vocals by a Keith Borman. What do you think? Is this him?
Yes. I need him to growl.
can see him holding the mic.
His voice is a bit, or his range is a bit lower in that. Oh.
But I know for sure this is him. Because I found it on his Facebook. The legend.
I just need a little space.
Do, 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 do.
A little time to run the sea.
There you go, Mr. Keith Bourne himself. I did reach out to him on Instagram, but I haven't heard anything back yet. He hasn't seen the message, so he's either not big on social media or he hates us.
Well, let me just tell you, so I was actually watching the video that Leofractic just released about digitally remastering the Doot-and-Doot-and-Doot-Doo. And on certain phones, if you're on the YouTube app and you pause it, Doot-and-Doot-and-Doot-Doo, and then you connect to another speaker without asking, it just starts playing it. So I have a speaker in the shower. And so I usually play, just an upbeat mix of songs. And I turn on the speaker and I turned on the shower waiting for it to heat up. And I just hear echoing in the shower because I'd shut the door. It was like, doot, doot, doot. The acoustics in the shower were fantastic. And I was like,
I mean, he's a great singer anyway. So that...
But I thought you were feeding it into that speaker to just be funny, and then I realized that
I did, yeah.
I was doing it.
No, I am funny. That is very funny though. Showering with the Dootin' Dootin' guy.
I'm in.
Whatever next. I'll tell you what's next. How about some fun boxing?
Ooh.
And of course,
Leofractic.
Leofractic from Gardenside. This is my friend Bunny, and I like to tell about you, PCB Way. Or you could give PCBs for $5. How do you pay Leofractic?
Thanks, Leofractic. That never gets old. I do love that. So a reminder as well, if you do submit anything for us to unbox, or why is he being so sweet?
Because he's a sweet boy.
Or anything that we show on the show, you get, it's down here today, you get your own RR badge, which gets you free entry into select retro museums around Uranus, the world, or other worlds like Uranus. But yes, let's get rid of the TV.
Absolutely.
Ready? That worked either way. Did that excite you? Yeah.
Startled you.
Okay. Oh, sorry, bonked your head. Shall we start with this?
Oops, I ripped it. Just kidding.
There, I ruined it. I get the small, she gets the large.
A black shirt.
They are Fairlight Demo Crew t-shirts. So I was interviewed recently by one of the team of Fairlight, who made fantastic demos for the Commodore 64 and Amiga back in the day, ones that I was fans of and watched over and over on floppy disk, like the Fairlight North Star Mega Demo 3, for example. So now, because you're so fair and light, the light of my life, you have your own Fairlight t-shirt.
Matching outfits.
Thank you so much. We will treasure these matching outfits. Now, we'll wash and iron them in a moment. Moving on. Party on, your Retronic design stuff has arrived. Wow!
Hope you didn't need that.
It's another repair video to do. So we have an updated Retronic design joystick adapter. This lets you use old-fashioned Atari-style joysticks with the A500 Mini, the C64. I needed a second one, and this one's got the latest firmware that works with the Mini.
That's right. A PCB. Are these composite?
Oh, you were halfway.
Composite and component.
Those are component outs.
Yes.
So that's for, I'm pretty sure, an Amiga. Moving swiftly on, our third and huge unboxing.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like to?
Paper.
Not paper.
Oh.
This is
Legos. Atari. Mine.
the Atari Lego Atari 2600 video computer system.
Ooh.
Still, the naming nomenclature still confuses me.
Nomenclature? What did you say?
I said nomenclature. Do you say nomenclature?
Yeah. Why are you adding an extra click-a-click-a-ture?
Nomenclature.
Yeah, but that's not what you're saying.
Nomenclature. Nomenclature. I did add an extra one. Either way, not only does the word confuse me, but the naming. This is why I got the wrong computer to play Empire Strikes Back when me and my mum bought the Atari 400 thinking it would work. But yes, so this has got inside it some buildable scenes from Centipede, Adventure and Asteroids. But yes, so what's the plan with this? Tell everybody.
The plan with this is to invite Leofractic over and have her help me build this while educating her because she'll have no idea what this is. Should we allow him to play with it when we're done?
Well,
No.
I was going to say I would like to convert the innards to a real working Atari VCS because I do have one up on a shelf there that is dismantled. And it is not a heavy sixer, but a 4-switch one. The old one, the first one, this one, was a heavy 6.6. It has 6 switches. Will we be in stitches or will we fit 4 switches? We don't know if it's going to fit, but I'm going to find out with your permission, of course.
No. I'll allow it.
So you build it and then I'm just going to pull it into
Dismantle it.
pieces.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is it for FUnboxing, which means it's time for Homebrews.
Homebrews. He got it this time.
Yay, me! And first up on Homebrews, we have this video by Lars Muljord. So he said,
As a huge Monkey Island fan, I was ecstatic when Return to Monkey Island was announced. And to show my appreciation, I decided to create an animatronic Murray the Demonic Talking Skull. It uses one of the new Raspberry Pi Pico boards and is programmed in C.
Nothing to do. You're a sad, strange little man.
You're a sad, strange little man.
and it's been programmed to interrupt you when you're talking on a TV show. Very cool.
So I could 3D print this
Yeah,
and then just take his program.
if you dare.
If I dare.
Next up, we have Howard Nibs. Can you guess what this is going to be? He's got a Raspberry Pi Pico again there. A Waveshare RP2040 Plus. It's programmed this time with CircuitPython. And along with all the illuminated controls, it has a VU meter. Can you guess yet?
Yes, I can, because I can see the name at the bottom of the PCB. It's going to be a kit
Voice box.
voice box, yeah.
It also has a microphone to measure sound and an IR sensor.
There it is. See, that would have given it away because it goes.
Yeah. An IR sensor to detect motion. So this is what it sounds like.
I am Kit. Hope you may regard the voice of the 90,000.
Thank you for sending that in, Howard. I like the 3D printed casing as well for it. It was just like the one from last month with
Knight Rider Taiwan Man?
Knight Rider Taiwan Man.
Yeah.
And here is that 3D printed case.
Wow. That's smooth.
So, yeah, smooth. I'm guessing he's put the files up online somewhere if you want to print your own and create your own. Love it. Well done, Howard. Which means it's time for a nice delicious bowl of nostalgia flakes. And first up, Ian Short has sent in this photo. He's not short, he's normal sized. And he says,
This is a photo of myself circa 1988 at age 16 on our Amstrad PC 464. This was our first home computer. From there, I moved on to the SNES and then the Amiga. Good times.
they were good times, the best times. I love showing these because I'm just jealous that I don't have any photos like this. He's got, looks like a Quick Shot 2 Turbo,
Yeah.
possibly. And there's a handkerchief. I don't know why I get joy in looking at all the little...
Look at the wallpaper. That's amazing.
So we could straighten that and actually print our own. That is definitely 1986. Although that wallpaper's probably put up in 79. So,
Oh yeah, the cassette.
and the cassette. Love it.
Now I'm just being nosy.
What is that?
The magazines?
Ah, I'm so gutted that I recycled all of my Zap 64s when I was about 20. I took great pleasure in, because I was feeling really green, like I'm not going to read them anymore. You know, I've got my Windows PC now. Ooh. And I took them all in a big box to the recycling centre and dumped them in. Like, it's incredible what you don't realise you're going to miss later in life. That's what Nostalgia Flakes is all about. Next up, who's this?
It's not our dog without a collar on?
No, this is Tim Hodge and his dog Denzel, who is the splitting image.
Spitting image.
He is the splitting image of Puppyfractic.
The only thing he's missing is the tiniest bit of dark hair just down the back.
Yeah.
Tiniest bit. That's amazing. I was wondering why you took a picture of her in bed. Because we have gray sheets like that too.
Oh, that's not why I took a picture of her in bed.
I thought this was her because of the sheets.
You thought?
Even though the colors aren't exact.
Yeah. That's amazing. Look, the black goes kind of down and around.
Mm-hmm. Around the whiskers.
Focus. She says I'm done focusing.
And the eyeliner too that you love so much.
Oh yeah, I do like that. You put that on every morning, don't you? Because you're a good girl. And yes, we love you very much. We were very sad recently because she had a little accident, which is more of a meme than a nostalgia fake. A nostalgia fake. But I thought it fitted better in this segment. I caught that on the home security cameras. She fell asleep and fell into the swimming pool. Luckily, the cover was on. Yes,
She says, why did you show everybody?
I'm sorry.
How embarrassing.
She's embarrassed now.
No, she's not in Paris. She's embarrassed.
She's not in Paris because she's a German Shepherd. Well, that is the end of our show on that embarrassing note. We'll be back in a month. As always, thanks so much for watching.
Subscribe and support below, and cheerio!
The death stare she's giving me right now. In the Mendlick picture,